Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Yeah. Well, it's Wednesday where I am. It's Wednesday where I am, but it's Thursday where you guys are. You guys already know what time it is, man. Round 8. Tips, tricks, predictions, previews, stuff, all of that. You already know what time it is. Hope you're doing good. Hopefully you guys are doing very, very good. Amazing. Stupendous. Outstanding. You guys already know. Terrific. As always, man, go through a ladder. Then we go by game and see what, just see the upcoming matchups for this week. So where should we start? Actually, let's just go into the start, man. The boys are playing on Friday. The boys play, actually, scrap that. Let's look at the ladder, man. My bad. So you see Collingwood, 6-1 the season, 24 points, going against Sydney. Melbourne, St Kilda, Brisbane, Port Adelaide, Carlton, Geelong. And to seal it off, Adelaide Crows, who did suffer a tough loss last week against Collingwood. That 1 point game, but a pretty impressive start from Adelaide, man. I see Brisbane, we are starting to cook up now. We are starting to win. Going against a Collingwood team who did win last week. It's gonna be a tough match. Obviously, Carlton are this team. Yes, they play West Coast Eagles, who have not won since round 2, round 3. Against GWS, and she did that last. Going up against Richmond, who are not having a good season as well. So it's the battle of the real mid, not like just mid, like real mid, with capital M mid. That's how bad this game probably would be. As always, man, Collingwood just winning again. Melbourne are starting to get going. Again. St Kilda still up there, even after suffering a tough loss last week again against Port Adelaide. But Port Adelaide are decent side, winning 4 straight. Surprisingly, the Bombers, who I was surprised about, are have tailed off a tad bit, have lost 2 straight games, but they are going up against Port Adelaide, which they kind of need to win. Remember, Essendon had that tough game against Collingwood, Anzac Day, in which they had the lead, and they kind of capitulate at the end, a 30-point lead into the fourth quarter, and they lost the game. Really tough. But for Carlton, going back to them, obviously got the leading goal scorer in the AFL, Charlie Curnow. I did check out the stats before I did the video. You guys were like, Chad, you ever include the stats? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. But guess what? I finally downloaded the AFL app after years. I don't know why I've never downloaded the AFL app. So I was like, Chad, just do it, man. Check the stats, stuff like that. So I did. Obviously, Brisbane's top 5 in scoring as well. It's gonna be a tough game. We've got to contain Charlie Curnow from Carlton. Dude's a beast. Absolute beast. One of the top players in the game. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a top problem. We're going to see, man. Obviously, our defense at times can be a tad bit shaky, but we are scoring very well. Just look at Jeff Danaher, Charlie Cameron, who are up there in the scoring. I'll tell you guys all the time, man. Charlie Cameron's a beast. Absolute beast. Absolute stud. A.K.A. Harley Davidson, motorcycle. Whoop, whoop. You already know what time it is. And I'm expecting a big game from him. Will Ashcroft. Shout out my boy. Young Will. And Cam Raymond. The whole team, man. Big, we just need to just continue what we got going on. Try and catch up to Collingwood, which we could use a Sydney win. Because I expect Melbourne to beat Gold Coast. I expect so could absolutely smack North Melbourne. And, we are going to see. That's the top 8. The bottom 8. Bombers, Bulldogs, Sydney, GWS, Gold Coast, Freo, North Melbourne, Richmond, Hawthorn. Also, the surprise team is probably Sydney Swans, who have lost the last 4 out of 5, especially losing this past week against GWS by 1. Sydney Swans, man, who I was impressed about last year. I say it again, but obviously this year they just hasn't really gotten going. I can't really tell you why. You guys will probably know. Leave the comments down below. But yeah, that's really the top 8. We got some good matchups coming up. We are going to check in the matchups, but yeah, just it's still early. So it's only 7 games, but we still got a lot more rounds to get to. So we are going to see, man. We are going to see. Obviously, Freo as well, struggling 2-5, and then they lose this past week. They are struggling. Obviously losing. Yeah, obviously we beat them. Smacked them, boys. Smacked them. I knew we were going to smack them. We are going to against Carlton. I don't think Carlton are really going to be as bad as Free. I think it's going to be a close game just because of Charlie Curnow and just what he does. But and Mackay. But it's a game we should win. So I'm looking forward to that, man. But besides that, that's the ladder, man. It's not a too surprising of a lot because the teams that we predicted in the preseason, obviously the West Coast Eagles, the Hawthorns, and North Melbourne are last. I wasn't expecting Richmond to be 16th with one win. Freo to be down there. GWS, Gold Coast, kind of where they were last season, just middle table. Adelaide again looking good, but the top 8. I mean, Collingwood, Melbourne, Brisbane. Not really surprised about that. Geelong, who have won 4 straight, which I knew they weren't gonna continue on that little tough start that they had. Remember, they did not start well. And they started with 0-3 with some tough losses as well, but obviously Tom Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron started to get going, scoring goals. So they're playing Adelaide. It's going to be a very, very good game. Obviously, can Adelaide prove their worth? We're going to see. But that's it. That's the ladder. Let's go and let's just check out the fixtures, man, for this upcoming round. Some good games, like I said, going on. Obviously, big games probably Collingwood, Sydney. Not if you don't want to look at the standings, that's probably it. But let's get the Bombers support Adelaide. But let's go ahead and start with my game. Our game, 5:50 a.m. Oh, am I gonna have to be live for that game? 5:50 a.m. on a Friday. Oh, that's early. That is early. 5:50 a.m. May have to, guys. I think I missed only one game at Brisbane. I think I missed one game at Brisbane. That was like 2 weeks ago. Wait, let me see. What game did I miss? I do not miss the game. I think it was the game versus GWS. Yeah, I didn't watch the GWS game. I think I was asleep. I have something to do. But you already know I'm running with my boys. That's obvious. Duh. Of course I am. Duh. I expect us to beat Carlton. So that should be a good game. Richmond, West Coast Eagles. Like I said, the battle of mid. I'm gonna go with Richmond. I think just talent-wise, they may have more talent to beat the West Coast Eagles. The West Coast Eagles, I mean, no offense, but they suck. They ain't good. They're not that good, unfortunately. I think I did give them some praise early on this season, but yeah, I kind of worn off pretty quickly. So Brisbane, Richmond on Saturday, 12 a.m. Geelong versus Adelaide. Can Adelaide, you can say, pull up? Is it really an upset if Adelaide beats Geelong? But I think the Cats are going to have enough to beat them. Like I said, I've been very, very impressed with Adelaide, but I just think Geelong is going to beat them. Gold Coast, Melbourne. I think Melbourne just continue on, man. Not top 8. Trying to catch. Everybody's trying to catch up to Collingwood. Everybody is trying to catch Collingwood, man. And at this time, you need to start beating the teams you should be beating. And with this, Melbourne and Gold Coast, I expect Melbourne to win. GWS against Western Bulldogs. I think did I mention Western Bulldogs? I think I forgot. Winning some 2 straight wins the last 4 out of 5. They are slowly creeping up. Against GWS, I think I am gonna ride with GWS though at the Manuka Oval. The Manuka. Hope I said it right. Hopefully I did say it right. But I got GWS beating Western Bulldogs 5:30 a.m. Yeah. Got that. Freo, Hawthorn, I got Freo. Hawthorn just aren't good as well, unfortunately. Sadly, up the stadium. Got Freo. Port Adelaide against the Bombers, like I said, it's probably one of the biggest games of the round. But the Bombers, like I said, kind of, slowing down. I think that trend continues. I got Port Adelaide beating the Bombers. Jake Springer. Collingwood, Sydney. I think Sydney can get right. I need them to get right. So I'm going with Sydney. I think Sydney is going to beat Collingwood. I just need them to get right. We need Sydney to get right. You know what I mean? But the way Collingwood play, man, winning a close game this year, which they did very, very well last year. They have a knack for winning these games, man. I think it does continue. Just not this round. Got Sydney. Last game, St. Kilda. North Melbourne got St. Kilda. I don't gotta say too much about that. Personally, don't gotta say too much about that, but I got St. Kilda beating North Melbourne. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, be on the lookout for the stream for 5:50 a.m. Brisbane, Carlton. Like I said, but if anything comes up, I'll let you guys know about that beforehand. And on that note, that's pretty much it. That's my predictions for this round. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Leave you guys thoughts in the comments down below. Was I wrong? Was I right? Who you guys have winning? Who you guys have losing? You guys thoughts on the table itself? Let me know. Peace.